Pretty serves me right, it's Jeff.
It is. Jeff Fisher here. I'm
That's
with,
pretty good, because I'm the guy that can shake your hand and forget your name at the same time. It just happens.
I feel for you all sitting back here listening to the wind blow. But when I was here last week, was asking about counts of accidents. Well, last Thursday, I got some more information. That may help me understand the 47 accidents and all this other stuff. But from 2015 to 2025, in fact, well, I would say generally speaking, with the exception of 2017 and 2018, where there was 8 and 6 on those years respectively, the normal accident frequency is about 3 a year, okay? 2 years, they said that there were.
You're talking about the 2015 to 25, right? You're saying the average is?
2017 and 2018. 2017 had 8 accidents at that intersection. This was before it was converted over. And then 2018, there was 6 accidents. But I'd say the general trend was 2 or 3 per year. That changed. Their 2023, in their narrative, they said no accidents in 2022 and no accidents in 2023. 2023, according to the data, there was 0 accidents. And that's kind of really what we're looking for at that facility. The year after we opened up the new intersection in 2024, there were 9 accidents. The year 2025, there were 10. So they have what they call a critical crash rate.
Can I back up? What was 22?
2022 was 3.
Thank you.
So what a critical crash rate is it's a kind of a ratio, and I think it's a million cars entering an intersection. What's the probability of one of them not making it through safely? And so they do this for statewide averages, and I think so the average critical crash rate is on the order of 0.6 or 0.8. I can give you a specific number if you're looking for it, but what they've found is there seems to be a difference. Maybe this is what you've been trying to say. There seems to be a difference in the experienced crash rate and the critical crash rate at that intersection.
Explain that.
Okay.
It's terminology.
Huh?
Terminology.
So think of a critical crash rate as the average crash rate at a similar type of facility, a grade intersection, okay? So if all the system, we have an average, and it might be 6% of 1 million vehicles entering in that facility or that intersection don't do so safely. Okay, so it takes into consideration the volume of traffic that goes through that facility,
Right.
and of that, so it's normalized to 1 million. So some of it's longer periods, but it's normalized to a percentage based upon a flow rate through that system.
Makes sense.
Okay.
You don't assess the same rate for 1 million cars going through a day as you would for 500,000.
Well, it's the same thing. You're counting the counts, but that 1 million cars a day on a 10,000 vehicle per day facility is going to be a shorter interval. It's really a ratio, okay? And the lower the number, the more people get through there without having an incident.
Right.
Okay. So there appears to be a change of this incident rate for how this facility is operated before and after it had been redesigned, okay? So, there's still waiting on a traffic study, but what you have been saying, that there's been an increase in frequency, the data supports that. Yesterday, when I mentioned or last week when I mentioned that a year and a half ago in January, that I thought there was about 8 or 9 preceding up to that point, and there was another time interval where I thought, when I talked more recently, there's about 8 or 9. The real numbers are 9 in 2024 and 10 in 2025. So of the 50 accidents that have happened since 2015, not including 2026 data, 19 of them have been in the last 2-year cycle. So a large percentage of those. Anyway, we are looking at this intersection. They're gonna come up with some countermeasures. But you had asked some specific numbers, you just want some specific data, and we received some of that on Thursday, and I just wanted to come and share that information with you.
Can we get
My
a flashing
question
red
remains, I
stoplight?
mean, we knew this, we didn't know the exact numbers. We know there's a problem because of the post work that was done on it. How long does it take to get something done about it?
So normally a traffic study is about a 6-month operation, and it moves about that.
And that started when?
Well, it started in January 20, so we've heard of interim. So normally they don't do these within 3 years of the facility change, but we did one 16 months ago. January 20th is when it started. I think we have the results for that in April. And it's possible that we might be able to get out there and do some of those countermeasures before another 6 months goes by. That's still a possibility. That's certainly what I have recommended.
So when you say a study, we're talking about traffic count, right?
Well, there's a real good demonstration of what traffic engineers do that's happening in Altamont in the middle of June concerning the 160 expansion from Altamont to the 169. But they'll have traffic engineers they'll introduce terms like level of service. This is how much delay you encounter. For example, we did this with Pittsburgh a year ago. And the intersection that caused the greatest amount of concern had the lowest level of service at D, and what that really means is the average person using that facility is delayed 15 seconds. And how you can manage that delay time is allow more north and south traffic to go through that facility, or keep the light on longer for the through traffic, interrupt the less frequent movement.
Side traffic.
But what really has resulted in that study is the agency is proceeding to put a roundabout there. Now, roundabouts are advantageous in that there's no delay, typically. There's other things you have to worry about, but it improves the level of service. It doesn't really decrease the number of accidents, but it decreases the frequency of accidents, like head-on and the side impacts, like what we're experiencing out here, 166 and 186.
What is the physical address of the place we're talking about?
We are talking about
K-26 and
K-26
And Baghdad Road.
Old Baghdad Road or Old Highway 166.
Yeah.
Old Highway 66?
166.
Okay.
Baghdad and Old Highway 166
And
intersection.
it used to be a stop.
You need 26.
Okay,
You need
so
26.
K-26 and Old Highway
And you can use
166.
either one of those others.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
And really, there's two areas of local concern. What I'm concerned about is that facility we just talked about, but also it seems to me that there's some geometry or some things that I think we should correct at the other interchange as well. It has to do with a curve, it has to do with a vertical curve, and it has to do with this vehicle speeds that are experienced at that location.
The line of sight
Yeah.
is very obscured right there.
Yeah.
Because I go that way every day, and I get off, get on the old 66, go to 5 Mile, and when you approach that, the line of sight across that bridge for oncoming traffic, you're out in the lane before you can actually get visual.
That's both ways.
And I
coming
think
around
that's
both
good.
ways.
That's just what I see day after day.
And I would say for the last year and a half, I've been advocating keeping this, there's a stretch of half mile that has 60 or 65 miles an hour, and that doesn't make sense, but I don't set the speed limit. It's set by recommendation through this traffic study process, and it's set by the secretary. I will say that the secretary is very interested and very involved in moving this issue along. He's concerned, as are all of us really.
Appreciate the numbers.
Yep.
We'll know your level of concern when we see action.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank
Now, if you
you.
can just run a milling machine around that roundabout in Riverton, get rid of that sharp edge, that would be really nice.
That was one of the early ones, and I think they're too tight, right?
Yep.
They're
Tighter radius.
It's like a
It's not-
perfect circle.
not big enough, but the lip on that curb is sharp, and for us guys that have a little bigger vehicles, it wreaks havoc on our tires.
So I did run that route, what, 96?
96 from 69,
I did run that route, so I understand maybe a little better from your perspective. I did put that in a little note that I sent up to my superiors, and I haven't really got anybody biting on that one yet.
if you'd like for me to give somebody a motivational speech, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for coming
you.
down.
See ya.
Appreciate ya.
Next time, you tell us
Michelle,
what
Michelle,
you've done.
I think we're in a meeting tomorrow.
Thanks, sir. Okay,
I think so.
now you want to
Alright.
lighten the
Yes.
board on that issue.
So what we have here is I had the misfortune of rifling through the budget a while back, and I found an account from back in 2018. So apparently the county switched, I'm gonna say accounting software, but that's probably not right. Switched from one software to another. And when that happened, there were several funds that were moved over into new accounts, but there was an old payment under protest account that was not moved over. In that account, there's a fair bit of money in there that has just been sitting there since 2018 and has not been touched. And because it's under the payment under protest fund, those people either had 30 days to file a BOTA hearing request, or their payment under protest was resolved. So there is no encumbrances to that account, and under the statute here, 79/2005, because it's been sitting there for a while, there is no encumbrances to it. It can be moved over into another fund that can then be expended for county purposes. So I just have the resolution here to switch over that money. This resolution does include just, already the clerk and the treasurer and I, we went through and come to the conclusion it's unencumbered. But just in case something squawks up, this resolution does include a new certification that that account is free and clear.
Where does that resolution state it'll be transferred to?
So for audit purposes, the clerk's office spoke to Dean, and his request was to move it over into a new fund created for this, but it would be able to be expended just the same as general funds. But for audit purposes, he asked that it be put over into a separate line.
How are we gonna know what is eligible to spend out of that fund?
Whatever the balance is.
Yeah.
But, so we can spend it for literally anything, once it's transferred to that fund?
Once it's moved over there, yes, because it's been sitting there, those voter requests have expired, and those payment under protest have been resolved, it would be treated just the same as any other real or personal property tax income. So that's why I have that resolution here, if you guys are interested in pursuing that, or if you have any more questions, or if you need an executive session on it. However you guys wanna play that one.
We have anybody wanting to grab that quickly?
No, I just didn't know for budget time if that would be good for you guys to be aware, or at least have that pocket available. So we're still examining 2 other accounts that are similarly situated.
I mean, I've been brought up to speed quite a bit, just conversations with Taylor, Ethan and them, so I don't know, if you guys want more, and there's not a lot more information to be had.
Right.
It's
You
just-
answered everything, I just wondered if anybody's already looking at it on funding.
As far as I'm aware, the only people that are aware of this fund is me, Taylor, Heather, and now you all in public. So no one is grabbing for it as far as I'm aware.
Sounds good to me.
So I have that resolution here. I think we are on number 9.
Mhm.
I would make a motion to pass resolution 09-2026, resolution authorizing the transfer of expired payment under protest fund balances pursuant to Kansas state statute.
So moved.
You second?
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I'll get that moved where it's actually available. Budget notes.
We still have something else to do on the agenda then? Sorry, okay. What do you want me to do? Just tell me what you want me to go do.
Do we have budget books ready?
Let me go ask Carla. I think she mentioned it a while ago.
Okay. Yay.
You guys forgot the confetti cannons.
Okay.
Look at
Build
that.
some muscles, or you need a massage? Thank you, ma'am.
That's Jack.
We even got a name. Ma'am?
Everything in? We think,
I don't know.
well, no, that's okay.
Okay, I'm thinking there might be one or two still out.
Okay, Ethan.
Hmm.
We've got a holiday that's gonna be coming up here pretty quick.
Yes,
That's a federal holiday
correct,
that we have not observed.
correct.
What are we to do?
Do you wanna do this, do you wanna take a quick executive, or do you just want?
It matters not to me.
I just wanna leave things as they are. We have our holidays set, we've sent them in to the state. I know we can alter them, but unless we do something different.
I mean, I think we previously discussed the issue, so I think you guys know what my advice is on it.
Yeah.
So,
But if we leave it the way it is, then that's going to end up costing us money, correct?
correct.
How's it gonna cost any more than what it'll cost us if we have to pay it in arrears?
The time, well, it would be the time and a half versus if the county closes, it would just be straight time.
If you stay open, then you've gotta pay them holiday pay,
Correct.
which would be time and a half pay or half the time, comp time,
Correct.
if they choose to do so.
I'll vote for it if we take one of the other days off. Then it's discretionary.
So,
What's your, give me a recommendation, cause, I mean, I know how this guy feels, but that may not, I'm never politically correct.
I think you've already told us what he thinks.
I mean, if you was to say, Ethan, what do you think you ought to do? I would say for the more of the paperwork, it'd probably be simpler to close. Just because that would save the time and a half for the comp time computations. So, because I've already had a couple offices reach out to me and say, hey, Ethan, what are we doing on this?
What day of the week is it? Just curious.
I have,
I think it's a Thursday.
It's the 19th, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
June the 19th.
It's a Friday.
Hmm.
It's the Friday before Father's Day.
Could you have the short staff hours? And if you get busy, that must be.
I mean, each office would be, each office can close on their own accord, or they can run a skeleton crew, or they can go full staff.
So you would just have to pay one or two people, whoever works is the only people you'd have to pay time and a half, right?
Right. Only if they actually work. So like a schmoes or a salary doesn't.
I mean, that's a thought.
What's that?
I don't know, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Each office can do what they see fit.
I said, could you mind just stay open and just have the office have like one or two people working and not,
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
okay. That would help.
You know what Columbus does?
I don't have a clue what one says. I don't know if they do or not.
You know what Lena does?
I don't think they closed for it.
I know Baxter
Baxter does. The bank's all closed, for sure.
Right. And
And the
Crawford
post
County
office.
closes, and I believe Quebec closes as
The
well.
post office closed?
Yes.
Okay.
And Crawford County does.
Galena may have closed last year, but that was the first year they closed. I'm not for sure.
Schools, well, school's out
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, school's
That's
out.
summer. Yeah, that's summer, okay.
And they wouldn't have closed.
Well, federal, guess we'll have to close.
Have a motion there.
To amend the holiday schedule. Yeah.
You have to, if you're gonna amend it. The time and a half was a part that Herb's continue out, you know, it's not budgeted in for
Right.
time and a half.
And last December really put a lot of departments in a tight spot, having 2 extra federal holidays added on a week before.
Well, on Galena's, the City of Galena's Facebook page, from last year, they have that they was closed for Good Friday, but they was not closed for Juneteenth.
Unfortunately, it's us.
I'm gonna vote against it unless we take a day off,
Somewhere else.
other schedule. Make a motion.
I don't know. Can we do that?
Yeah, you can amend the holiday schedule, so long as you don't swap one federal holiday for the other. So is there any holidays we give that are not already federally recognized?
Day after Thanksgiving, for sure. Christmas Eve, I don't know. Have you got a copy of our current one?
Do you see if,
Dina,
Dina can give you a holiday list right quick, please? And if it shows if they're federal or not.
On, City of Galena's website, it shows that they observed it in 2022.
who did?
The City of Galena in 2022.